We're learning the most craziest clutch in Minecraft, and we're starting from the easiest clutch to the hardest clutch.
Number 1, the chorus fruit clutch. You don't
Okay, I know this clutch.
have to aim, you don't have to think, you don't even need fast reactions. Having chorus fruit is especially handy when looting end cities, because it completely counters the levitation effect from shulkers.
Oh
I've used
yeah, this is what Dream always use. I always think that. Wait, how is he flying, bro? The Elytra flying, this is not the same as the Elytra fly. The Elytra fly always go far. I don't know why this one. I'm wondering, bro. How is it flying like it's staying on air? Meanwhile, it's levitating.
this trick a million times. Whether I'm in a ravine or whether I'm being chased by a horde of piglins, the block on the wall clutch comes in handy. And all
Oh yeah, nice. Oh, that clutch always gets hard for me, bro. Especially when I'm using an ender pearl to disappear into a wall. So I'll actually first throw an ender pearl before he hit the wall. I'm just gonna start placing block on the floor right before I disappear. So when I disappear, I'll see myself already placing block on the wall. So that make it easy for me and more understandable.
you need is a solid block. That makes it super easy. Just make sure to aim properly, otherwise you'll turn to mush. The water bucket
Yeah, that's kind of annoying, bro. I
is
don't
for
like
sure
that.
the most famous MLG in all of.
Yo, bro, that clutch is very hard, bro. How am I gonna do that? I literally just throw the bucket out, then I'm falling down before I took the water bucket. Bro, I'm already on the floor, bro. It it matters it depends on the height of the place you're gonna land. If it's short, man, you're dead already. But if it's long, if it's very high, bro, it's possible actually.
Minecraft. The clutch itself isn't that difficult. However, the complexity increases with height. I have to make one thing clear. Spamming right click isn't the best way.
Oh yeah, yeah, it's true. When I'm clicking too much, bro, when I'm falling and I'm clicking too much, I miss the time that I'm supposed to click
To do
eh,
it. But
the
it
click. So I'm just gonna fall right into the floor. So I'm gonna lose all my
is
stuff.
the best way to lose all of your stuff. If you're falling and beneath you there's a horse, you can right click it and save yourself. This can also be done with mules, donkeys,
Nah, bro. What if there is no horse over there? What if there's no horse, bro? I'll literally fall, or I won't even jump, bro. I'll literally just took my water bucket and clutch with water bucket clutch. I don't need no horse. And what about if is another entity, bro? How will I identify is a horse, bro?
pigs, or even striders. If you manage to pull this MLG off, you will feel like a
Oh yeah, I'll feel very very good. Like I'll feel like I'm better than the Quavis, bro.
cowboy. And this is just the beginning. The clutches only get hard.
Yeah, yeah, as I tell you now, as he's saying, the clutch is getting harder over time. So don't forget, don't leave this video. Stay with me, and we're gonna be learning the most clutch in this video.
Harder as the video goes on. Number 5. Dream made this trick popular. Using
Yeah, I've watched this. I've watched it, bro. Yeah, I've watched this video of Dream. That was so crazy, bro.
it to escape the hunters in his most popular video. I saw that on Reddit! Boats are entities, so they burn in lava. However, you have a split-second window in which you can jump on them. No matter if you use a hay bale, a cobweb, scaffolding, or powdered snow, with the correct timing, you will survive anything. These 4 blocks might even be better than the water bucket, because they can be used in the nether. If I had to choose, I would say the hay bale is my favorite.
Bro, you can't even clutch with a water bucket in nether, bro. The water's gonna evaporate, bro. So you don't have any choice but to use hay bale.
As it reminds me of Assassin's Creed. You can use ender pearls in so many ways: to travel faster, to prevent fall damage, or to escape the void. Elite G had an awesome idea. If you wanna flex on your friends, get some glowberries and do this. I can't wait to show you the craziest clutches, because you won't believe the things that are possible. You might be thinking, but Darusak, didn't you forget about the slime block? Well, the slime block clutch is actually harder.
I hate slime block, bro. So if you don't have a much slime block, you're gonna bounce on the first one you put, then die on the second land, bro. That's why you need to have like infinite block depending on how the land is, because when you're farming for a very high place, you have to put like 5 or 6 blocks so you can land the one, land the second one, third and fourth and fifth. So you need to have many slime blocks
in the Haybell MLG, since if you're not perfectly centered, you'll shatter to pieces. On top of that, slime blocks launch you into the air, so you have to do multiple of them in a row.
That's what I said.
This trick will make you look like a hacker. Get a bunch of scaffolding blocks and spam right click until you see this. That's a ghost block, and you're the only one who sees it. This allows us to do some cool things, like clutch in midair with a hay bale. Just make sure the admins aren't watching. Number 10. You're about to see something illegal. You can actually clutch with lava in vanilla Minecraft, but you have to place the lava against a wall. That way it slows down your fall. I know, using something that can literally kill you seems ridiculous, but hey, the thing works. You're descending to a certain depth and you only have sand. In order to save yourself, you have to place the sand and start building up. If you time your jumps perfectly, you can actually use gravity blocks to go up. Doing this is by no means easy. However, it's nothing compared to the clutches later in the video. Falling onto a ladder
so
saves
you have
you.
to wait for the harder clutch so you can learn, because I know that most of you guys have already know how to do all this clutch, so that's why you need to learn the most harder one.
From dying, unless you fall on top of it. The ladder clutch isn't for beginners. However, there is one simple tip that will make it a whole lot easier. Instead of aiming on the side, aim at the bottom. Think of it like you're placing the ladder on the ground. The jump boost potion has a secret use. You can throw a splash potion of jump boost just before you land, which will reduce the amount of fall damage you take. Now this is the proper way to use jump boost, not having it on beacons like a casual. There is a way to make the famous water bucket MLG much harder. Actually, there are two ways. The first is clutching on a slab, and the second is doing it on stairs. You have to be a really good player to pull it off. And we're only at number 14. Imagine what the clutches at the end will be. Number 15. This trick will make you look like a genius.
But Darusak, why don't you burn to death?
Well, by using ladders or doors, you can create an air pocket underneath the lava. And since there is no air around the wooden items, they will not burn. I have no idea what to call this clutch, so I'm gonna name it the jumping in front and placing down 2 blocks clutch. Doing this with 1 block is easy, but the real challenge starts at 2. You need precise aim and a lot of practice. When jumping, imagine the 2 blocks already being there, but then you still have to place them. Most players have no idea that this item can save your life. You can use sweet berries to reduce your fall damage, although there's a catch.
Bro, it's actually hard, bro. I don't use that, bro. Bro, how am I gonna do that?
You can only place them on dirt. So the next time you find a taiga forest, collect a bunch of these red things before burning the place to ashes. The sweet berry clutch is pretty crazy, but we're just scratching the surface. If you suck at PvP, then this clutch is for you. It's called the double extend, and all you have to do is place down 2 blocks underneath you to prevent falling. Simple, right? Well, not exactly. This clutch is much harder than it seems, and it is extremely useful when someone is clapping you in Bed Wars. Now, of course, I wouldn't know that, because I've never lost a fight. The boat is the most useful item in all of Minecraft. You can use it to trap mobs, to travel quickly, to walk on lava, or to save yourself from fall damage. Now, in order to pull the boat clutch off, you need faker level reactions. Since placing it down isn't enough, you also have to enter the boat, meaning 2 fast right clicks are required if you want to live. But if you're not in a rush, I highly recommend entering the boat beforehand. Trust me, it's much safer. Number 20. I guarantee that you didn't know this about the Minecraft igloo. When dropping from above, you can destroy the roof and land on the bed, which greatly reduces the fall damage. Or if you're feeling lucky, go through the middle and land on the ladder. Now this is only for real gamers, because you also have to open the trapdoor while falling. To prove you are a real gamer, subscribe. We're taking over YouTube this year. Bone meal is an essential item for the bamboo clutch. Whenever you're above bamboo and you bone meal it to grow taller, the game cancels out your downwards momentum, causing you to survive the fall. Of course, that's easier said than done, as the timing has to be basically perfect. But wait until you see the clutches later in the video. If you thought the ladder clutch was hard, think again. When falling on flat ground, you have nowhere to place your ladder. So players figured out that if you're fast enough, you can place the block yourself. To pull this off, you have to have your keybites on point.
Bro, as we're falling, we have to place the block, then the ladders. But what the fuck am I gonna do that, bro? How am I gonna do that? I can't even do a block clutch, bro. And you're talking about a ladder clutch? Then I'll place a block and a ladder? Bro, you ain't serious, bro.
Because you need to place a block, switch to ladders, place the ladders and land on them. All of
we are over switching to the ladders. Oh my god. Bro, huh? This boy knows
that in a fraction of a second. You can survive a drop by jumping onto an exploding TNT. You heard me right. The TNT blast can save you from fall damage. That's because the explosion knocks you back, which can result in a... Of course, you might die from the TNT, so get yourself some blast protection armor. You can even do this with end crystals, respawn anchors, or an exploding creeper. Now we're getting into the mental territory, where the clutches stop making any sense.
Who will make the creeper mad? Who will make the creeper mad, bro? Like, I'm high up from the creeper, and I'm falling to an exploding creeper. I know creeper always explode when someone makes the creeper angry. Who made the creeper angry, bro? Like how?
Sense. For instance, you can shoot an invoker in midair and pick up the totem he drops to survive the fall. I can't wait to see this in the next manhunt, where there just happens to be a one-shotable invoker underneath Dream. Nah, but in all seriousness, what makes this MLG hard is the fact that it's absolutely and utterly unrealistic. Number 25. Take a look at this MLG by Vixius. You're falling, you're surely gonna die, but you see 4 jungle saplings underneath you. How
am I gonna see that? Bro, like I'll see 4 saplings. Bro, I'll feel lucky, bro. Like I'll just see when I'm falling, I don't even see anything like that, bro. I don't see anything. Bro, guys, if you're feeling like me, like unlucky or lucky, please lie down on the comments.
Convenient. You whip out your bone meal, prepare your fast fingers, and boom, you just made a jungle tree. But Darusak, how can a jungle tree save me from dying? See, every jungle tree has vines, and by landing on those vines, you can survive. This is extremely hard, but I've left the hardest clutches for the end of the video. You definitely heard about this play. Sapnap knocks Dream off of this platform. Dream is falling. He's gonna die, but then he sees a perfectly placed crafting table. He clicks on it, flawlessly makes a boat, and finishes the clutch. Now, did he do it legitly? Who knows? But personally, I don't buy it. Doing this just once takes hundreds of attempts and countless hours of practice. There is a 0% chance you've seen this clutch before. In Minecraft, you can survive any fall if you land into a falling block. This requires some crazy good timing. The way this MLG works is by pushing you to the side when the sand changes states. And if you think about it, it kinda makes sense, because dropping into sand doesn't hurt nearly as much. In general, attacking the iron golem isn't a good idea. However, you can use this mob to your advantage. The iron golem's attack knocks
what
you
the heck?
into
How?
the air, which makes it the perfect tool for clutching. Just shoot the golem in midair and fall right on top of him. If you're lucky enough, the golem will launch you into the air before you hit the ground. You can even do this with the warden. If you somehow pull this off, congrats. But now you have an angry warden to deal with. In Minecraft, there is this unknown mechanic that can make you completely invincible for a split second. Whenever you take damage, there is a slight window in which you cannot lose any more health. On Java, doing this is
Yeah, what about the this, what do they call this? I don't wanna.
basically impossible. However, on Bedrock, this is much more doable. You can do it with a cactus, flint and steel, fire charge, or even shoot yourself with an arrow right before landing. Number 30. This is the hardest clutch in all of
Yeah,
Minecraft.
guys
Let's
are
break
ready
it down.
for the hardest clutch, bro. Please keep watching this video and please don't forget to subscribe.
You're falling and there is a crimson fungi. You bone meal that fungi to make it grow into a crimson tree, which has a small chance of having weeping vines that can be used to cancel your fall. The amount of skill and luck
Yeah.
required is unfathomable. You have a higher chance of finding Herobrine than doing this MLG.